Hey, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, of course. And hey, if you watched another video of mine, the prime rib video, this is what's cooking here right now. What I'm going to cook in this video is a small, full packer brisket. You know, same with what I told you before. This is from a cow that I recently purchased, a whole steer. And I'm going to go ahead, this is a smaller, full packer brisket. We're going to sous vide this low and slow, medium rare, and we're going to finish it on the grill. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
First of all, guys, let me apologize for any noise you hear in the background. It's Saturday afternoon here, and I'm not too far from a busy highway, and it's motorcycle day, I guess, because there's a lot of motorcycles going by. But that being said, hopefully you don't hear a whole lot of that. So what I'm going to do with this brisket, it's got a fairly thin flat and a really small point, and I trimmed a lot of the fat off of this already. And what I'm going to do, since I already had this packed, I had salt, pepper, garlic seasoned on it. I already had this in the freezer for a while. I took it out, let it thaw. But I'm going to cook this medium rare. So I'm going to cook it like 135, and I'm going to cook it for a good 56 to 70 hours. So I want to let this cook for a longer time since I'm doing a lot lower temperature. I want this to be tender, and I know that the fat's not going to render completely, but I don't want to have to trim too much more of that fat off when I pull it out. So maybe they'll do 136 temperature, but I'm definitely going to do over 50 hours. I'm going to do over 48, so I'll probably do it, you know, right at 56 hours, and then I might even bump it up to 70 hours. Depends how I feel, you know, when it's going. But it's going to be a longer cook. I'm going to do it in my Anova Pro container because this is a smaller packer, so it'll fit in there just fine, and it's going to be a longer cook. So this will be for a meal like Tuesday or Wednesday evening. For me, it's Saturday today, so this is going to be a longer cook. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but this is one of my favorite things to do with tough things like brisket or beef ribs, is cook them at that low temperature for a long time and let them get tender and medium rare and juicy, and not have to worry about overcooking it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to put this in the sous vide bath, and we're going to let it cook for a good 60 hours or so. So I'll see you in a little while. Hey guys, I am back, and I gotta tell you, it's been longer than overnight. Actually, it's been about another 3 days. And when I got this done, some things came up. Decided to go ahead and hold on to this for another 3 or 4 days before I went ahead and finished it. So we had the holidays and everything through, and now I'm ready to cook this up. So that's one of the good things about pre-cooking these sous vide, is that if something comes up and I don't have time to finish it or I want to put it off, all I have to do is chill it down, put it in the refrigerator for a few days, and then I can still take it out, heat it back up, and it'll be perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. This has been in the refrigerator for a good, you know, four or 5 days. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out now with a bag. I'm going to keep it as wet as possible. I try to keep as much of the fat stuck inside the bag. I am going to use my MeatStick to monitor the temperature. I'm going to do it, reheat it, and kind of get some smoke on my Kamado Joe Classic 2 today. That's what we're going to use. I got a little bit of pecan, a little bit of cherry wood in there. It's coming up to temp. So let me get this out of the bag. I'll show you how I'm going to put the MeatStick in there to monitor it. It's all woke up, ready to go. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I can smell my Kamado Joe getting up to temp. I can smell that pecan and cherry. My favorite smoking woods. Got my MeatStick ready to go in. So I took this out of the bag, and like I said, I kind of saved all the bag juices. We're going to use those maybe later, maybe not, but I'm going to save them anyway. I still got a lot of the juices and gel that broke down while it was cooking on the brisket itself. I'm going to re-season it with just a little bit more salt, pepper, and garlic here. This is my standard seasoning for beef, especially for brisket. You'll find people that'll just use salt and pepper, the Texas style, but I like putting a little bit of that garlic powder in there. I don't need to dump a whole lot on here because remember it was seasoned before it went into the sous vide. So just enough to kind of replace the seasoning that got lost in the bag with the other juices. I'm going to turn this over without trying to get all my hands all messy. Like I said, you don't have to put a ton of it on. It's just more to replace some of the seasoning that came off during the initial cook in the sous vide. So remember, we cooked this medium rare, so we're hoping it will come out more medium rare. Probably more like a medium, closer to a medium, like a high-end medium rare, but still not going to be well done. It's still going to be nice and juicy, still going to be nice and tender and flavorful, and not all gray. Alright, I got my meat stick. This is my regular full-size meat stick here. It's already picking up on the Wi-Fi bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the thickest part of the flat, or the point here, because I want this to monitor both the internal temperature of the meat and the pit temperature. So I got it pretty much in the thickest part of the meat there, so it should be just fine. I'm going to go ahead, make sure my Kamado Joe's getting up to temp. We're going to stick it on there and let it cook and let it heat up, and we'll monitor it with the meat stick. It's down to the 40s right now because I just took this out of the refrigerator, so it's right at the refrigeration temperatures, and we're going to watch it go up. So I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, it is just over 200 degrees in there. I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and the way I do these, if you see me do this before, I leave them on this rack just so it's easier for me to take on and take off. Just make sure I got it centered there. I got my heat deflectors in place, so we're on indirect heat. Hopefully this will be done in about 2 hours or so. So right now it is right at about 3:30, so I'm hoping to eat around 6. So if this goes to 2.5 hours, it'll be just fine. But like I said, we're going to monitor it with the meat stick, both the internal and external temperature. If I have to make some vent adjustments, I can do that as well. So all right guys, I will see you guys in an hour or so, and we'll take a look at it and see how it's working out. Alright guys, just wanted to show you monitoring it with the meat stick. You can tell the temperature's climbing up, both external and internal. It nailed in right around 250 or so on average when I got it done there. If you can tell here, after an hour it was sitting at 248. So the temperature on the internal was climbing pretty good, and actually I was pretty happy with this. It came in under 2 hours. So if you take a look here, this is what it looked like about 2/3 of the way through. Got plenty of smoke, plenty of color on the outside, and the fat rendered just great on this one. It was super juicy. You can tell here, this is when it finished up. The grill was starting to come down, so right at an hour and a half or so, and it was back up to the internal temp I wanted. So it was worked out really good. Got plenty of smoke, plenty of color. All right guys, it's done. All heated back up. I'm going to go ahead and take my meat stick out. It got up to 136 or so. And just because I did a medium rare brisket, I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half and kind of show you. Look how, oh, look at the juice coming out of it. Look how easy it cut. Go ahead and just separate it here. Stuck just a little bit here. There you go. I'll get a closer look. Look at that. Nice and juicy. I'm going to get a bite. I have to take it off the back here. Still pretty warm. That's right off the back side. Falls right apart. Melts in my mouth. Wow. I'm going to give you a close-up shot just so you guys can see. There you go. Still got some pinkness to it. Not technically medium rare, I guess. It's more of a high medium rare, low medium. But it's super juicy, super tender. Wow, it tastes great. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this up for dinner. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Follow us on our Fire and Water Cooking podcast. Check out the Fire and Water Cooking book. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere you get books. Check us out on the next Fire and Water Cooking video. I'll see you then.